Hello, I am Ben, and this is the Saucony Endorphin Elite. But is it any good? Seemingly unhappy with the praise heaped upon the Endorphin Pro, Saucony have gone one better and brought out the Endorphin Elite, a very much a top tier race day shoe. Some stats. This thing costs £280. It is 255 grams in a UK 12. Yours will inevitably be lighter than that unless you have bigger feet than me, which good luck to you. It has a stack height of 40 at the back, 32 at the front, meaning an 8mm drop. Now there have been a few major differences between this shoe and this shoe, which make this stand out. The first being the foam that they've used, which is what Saucony have called the PowerRun HG. Now this foam has huge lab tested numbers about energy return, which are very impressive when you see them on a spreadsheet, but what that translates to in real life is they're a highly responsive running shoe. When at full tilt in a race, this shoe feels incredibly responsive, very propulsive as well. You cannot deny that it is very much up there with other carbon plated high stack shoes when it comes to race day performance. Another big development for them is the carbon plate. Now the carbon plate in the Pro 3 is a standard full width, full length plate. The carbon plate in the Elite is a forked plate, so if you imagine you can see through this shoe, comes up here and then it is divided into prongs. This means the plate behaves slightly differently. There's slightly more give to it through the gait cycle, so when you land on the edge of the foot through to the toe off on the big toe, you get slightly more transition between each prong, which in turn makes the shoe feel a lot more comfortable. It feels very much in tune with how your foot wants to behave, rather than there being small elements with other carbon plated shoes where the shoe and the foot might feel like they're wanting to do different things. This shoe doesn't have that issue at all. It's one of those put it on and kind of forget about it shoes, which is exactly what you want when it comes to race day. You want to be able to put it on, not have to think about the laces being too tight, too loose. You do them up, everything's good. Talking about the laces, the upper is a big development for this shoe in comparison to the Pro. Incredibly breathable, very open weave throughout. The tongue is highly perforated. There's this big open section to the side of the shoe, and then most importantly is this band. This band runs to the edges of the lacing, all the way through, actually underneath the outsole, between the carbon plate and the outsole, and then runs back up to the other side of the shoe. Now this is in part to do with creating tension around the top of the foot, so when the laces are done up correctly, the upper is then has this sort of sense of rigidity to it, but not discomfort at all. Very, very comfortable shoe, but it has a fit that is very reassuring. Again, it helps lock the heel back into the shoe. There's some mild padding here just by the Achilles for anyone who has an issue with that. There's some padding there just in case, but it is a stripped back upper, very much again in line with keeping the shoe weight low for race day. So most important, how do they perform when it comes to race day? Well, up against all the big guns, the Nikes, the Adidases, all the others, I would say that this is very much a firm contender. The price point is high, so if you've got the budget for them, then they should definitely be towards the top of the list, if not top of the list. The things that make it so good on race day are the foam is incredibly effective in what it's meant to be doing. This shoe feels nimble, responsive. It gives confidence when you're running in it. You don't battle against the shoe. There's no point through the gait cycle where you feel the shoe is doing too little or too much for you. It very much behaves how you would like it to behave, versus some shoes which may or may not suit you. Now, it's very hard to go out there and try on a pair of £280 shoes and guess that they might work, but some key factors that might help you in the decision. A lot of other super shoes are quite contoured in the footbed, particularly like the Alpha Fly, which has quite a steep drop off on the instep. The Adi Pro 3 has lots of sort of different elements towards the top of the shoe with the lacing, which might affect other people. This shoe is much more neutral in its approach to fit. There's not particularly any spots or extra features which would cause rubbing or cause any sort of hot spots with most people's foot shape. The toe box is good and wide. It doesn't feel narrow. Some race shoes do feel a bit more narrow. So from a fit point of view, this is as close as you're going to get to sort of an everyday run shoe, but with the super shoe credentials. Should you buy this shoe? Well, First of all, do you have the money? If you do, congratulations. I think this should very much be towards the top of the list if you wanted to get a super duper excellent race day carbon fibre shoe. It does all the things you need it to do. Comfort has never been more paramount in terms of a shoe delivering on that. If you don't have the budget, the Endorphin Pro 3 is an excellent choice, but for one stage further, if you do want to step it up, then the Endorphin Elite could be the shoe for you.